Hello, everyone. I'm here with Rob Lowry from Motor City Floors and Coatings. Rob, you have a coating company in Michigan and also in Florida. And can you tell me a little bit about how you do what you do, how you got started in this venture, and how it's been going?
Yeah, well, thanks, Sean. To be honest with you, it kind of started the cliche way over a drink and a napkin. That's what my first operating agreement was drew up on with my best friend. We seen a flaw in the market where traditional coatings and epoxies and concrete finishes just had a short lifetime,
Yeah.
or just were insanely expensive. So we sought for something new, and that's when we kind of reshaped how the industry works here in Metro Detroit, and then carried that along to Florida.
Excellent. So when you say reshaping, what does that mean to us?
Yeah, so I had an industrial background in coatings, and I was
Okay.
familiar with things that you don't always see. And the polyureas and polyaspartics that's become really popular is something I knew about and seeked for specifically. And about 10 years ago, we introduced that to the residential market here in Metro Detroit.
Good, good. And how's things been going? When did you start your business?
So we started in 2017, just kind of as both of my business partner and best friend, Max, we
Mhm.
just sat here and we both had other companies and
Yeah.
jobs and opportunities and things like that. We thought this would kind of just be a weekend thing. And then, shortly after, in about 2019, we grew to almost over 100 employees, and it just took off really fast. There was a huge flaw. Let's just put it that way. There was a huge flaw and a big opening for us. And as you can see, a lot of people have seen that opening as well.
Right. When we talked earlier before the podcast, one of the things that you shared with me is that the repairs that you sometimes will stumble upon, and you're kind of surprised by what you sometimes see where others, what we won't name, may have messed something up. Can you share some of that for those people that are going, I'm thinking about doing this, but I've seen this problem or I've seen that it don't hold up. Can you share about that?
Yeah. So before 2021-ish, we would see a lot of failures come from traditional epoxies. And we all know they just don't hold up in residential areas with the standard hot tire pickup, the sunlight discoloration, just, movement of concrete in northern states. It just
Mhm.
doesn't hold up. It's a hard, brittle product. It has its places, but that's not one. So that's
Mhm.
where we'd see a ton of areas where we would get called in to come in and remove an epoxy coating for many of reasons and then replace with our coating. And then 2021 moving forward is where we saw a huge ambush to this market with a lot of different entrepreneurs. So now we've been kind of seeing where we've been repairing not just your standard epoxies, but the famous one day floors marketing term.
Oh, yeah.
To put it in perspective, we like to track a little bit of data. In one of our markets, we did about 2,000 projects last year.
Wow.
67% of them were removal and replacing failed coatings, and 43% of those were installed inside of 5 years.
Wow.
So there's a lot of frustration and misconception out there.
Good. But you stand behind your product. You've shared that with me. Can you mind sharing with others?
Yeah, so we give what we call a true lifetime warranty. So no gimmicks, no funny terminology in the contract. It's very direct. As long as you have possession of the home or the home exists or the property residentially, we warranty it forever. And it's also transferable. Long warranties with this product are a very common thing. It's part of the marketing terminology. We can't emphasize enough to our customers and the people doing the research. Look just beyond the website and the social pages, how they might look the same. There's
Hmm.
a lot of things that are different. And I think if anyone knows you with technology, it's
Yeah.
easy to be able to find the truth in the things. And we have a long history of that.
Right. I definitely understand. So that probably brings a tremendous amount of peace of mind for people who are kind of considering this type of, epoxy coating, custom flooring, or whatever. But what kind of locations do you do those? I think driveways, I think sidewalks. Do you do them inside
Yeah. So
homes as well?
everywhere, yeah. I mean,
Really?
so think of any type of concrete space we can take care of for you. So we
Hmm.
are really known as your traditional home residential concrete coating company. So whether it's a garage, a driveway, a basement, a patio, a porch, pool deck, even a driveway. And the reason I mentioned driveways is a lot of times they're bigger areas, bigger ticket items. But the worst things for coatings, in my opinion, are sunlight sunlight, tires, salt, weather changes. And we tell our customers when we do their driveways, we give the same warranty with it. We tell them, go ahead, salt it, shovel it, do what you got to do to take care of it as normal.
Mm-hmm.
This product's simply just not coming off the concrete. And then in our areas in Florida, the sunlight is just, it's Florida. It's sunny, right? So one of the worst things, like I said, is sunlight. So in the majority of our work in Florida is patios, lanais, sidewalks, things of that just take the direct sunlight. So part of the technology just doesn't protect the coating. It also, reflects it so it doesn't get super hot. It's a lot of things to it that are really great. But we have a strong presence in the commercial and industrial space as well.
Good. So, you see a lot of driveways, I'm in Southwest Florida, and you see a lot of driveways that are like the paver brick and those types of things. They look really great for a while, but they are a maintenance issue, right? Are there maintenance responsibilities when you have an epoxy driveway or sidewalk or whatever?
So if you had an epoxy driveway, you'd have a lot of maintenance issues. But if you have a polyurea and polyspartic driveway, you have next to none, right? So we tell our customers the responsibility is really on you. And by you, I mean, it is as simple as just, if you're in a northern state, you need to wash it down in the springtime, get all the grime and gunk off it. I tell everyone, whether you're mowing your lawn, your landscapers, have them leaf blow your driveway off, or your garage, or whatever the space is, just like anything else. Yeah. And that's just for simple, just maintenance and aesthetics.
Tannin stainings and stuff like that can happen with leaves laying there. You see it on concrete driveways as well.
Yeah. That stuff will wipe just right away.
Good.
But if you do it inside, like a basement or, your warehouse, your place of business, things of that nature, it has antibacterial and antimicrobial properties. So it just naturally, just by design, just doesn't get dirty. It's always just really a surface level type issue to where it just needs to be wiped away.
Very good. Very good. So your business has grown from 2017 to now up to 100 employees. Is that correct? I heard you say?
We got well to over 100 employees at one point in time, and we really just started to focus on our commercial and industrial side. And that has really driven us to a smaller scale of more skilled individuals.
Good. So you're kind of narrowing down and kind of nailing your avatar, exactly what you're going for somewhat.
Yeah. We're pretty open about here in Metro Detroit. We're here to service our residential customers forever, but nationally, we're really focused on like our commercial and industrial side. For example, in Florida, we've expanded down to there, and we haven't done a residential project in probably a year and a half. We've been busy with commercial industrial obligations.
Very good. So Rob, can you walk me through, like, from the moment you guys get a lead to like how you get all the way to the job done? What's the process look like? If I was interested, what would I do?
Yeah, so we have it very segregated as far as residential and commercial. It's a big difference. Commercially, you have a lot of different type of applications, scopes of work, as they might say, and that takes someone that might have a bit more knowledge than in the other space, or not necessarily knowledge, but it's just their day-to-day, right? So you call into our office, everyone that works, or anytime you interact with anyone with Motor City, it's a Motor City employee. That's a common question. There's no 1099ing, subcontracting, no out-of-the-world phone call answering. It's you call in our office, you talk to one of our employees directly. We're going to get your information, see what your needs are, hear a little bit about your story, upload it into our system, and then just find the time that's best for one of our salesmen to come out there and do what we call an assessment. It is a quote at the end of the day when we come out speaking on, residentially your home. But for us, it's an assessment. This warranty is very real. And there's a lot of things that go into concrete coatings that it might seem like I'm just having a conversation with you in your garage about us and our processes, but you'll notice I'm taking a test here, doing a measurement here, taking some photos of this, maybe touching the concrete. We want to check for not just size, but accessibility, condition. Is it structurally sound? Right. Is there a high moisture content? Is it super dense? So when your salesman is out there and he's taking a look at your space, he is just making sure that we can actually provide with you what it is that we do and be able to stand behind it the way that we say that we're going to. So that's kind of what happens. And usually we come up with a price price right there for the residential customer. And then if you decide to move forward with us, it's just a simple deposit and schedule. We typically schedule Monday through Thursdays.
Right.
We've noticed residentially in Michigan and really Florida too, there's just so much rain and weather and other things that could happen, and paint and water really just don't mix.
Right.
So
Yeah.
our customers have respected it, that say we got a full schedule on Wednesday and it rains, we can make you up that Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So
Oh, I see. Oh, I
a
get
lot
it.
of people have found that to be, they appreciate that, because it's when the project's happening, it's a lot of work on the customer. And they typically have either cars they have to relocate or a bunch of items they want to put in their yard, and they got to cover it with the tarp. So
Yep.
no one wants to get rescheduled for a couple weeks or a month or even a week. So we make sure that doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then once the project's done and completed, that's when, we'll make sure everything's okay. There'll be a quick follow-up. And then from there, if there's anything that's needed, you just reach out.
Very good. So how has the industry changed in the last, say, 3 to 5 years from where it begins to where I see it now? And for me, how it is on Facebook, you notice something, you go, oh, that's interesting. And I see all these little videos of how different kinds of floorings being put down, and I find it curious. But how has the industry changed, in your opinion, in the last 3 to 5 years?
It's one of those things where, you don't want to sound like a old young man, if you will, like, oh man, these new guys. But I look at it in two ways. I respect the entrepreneurial spirit. I respect wanting to go out there and do well for yourself and,
Sure.
and make money. And I truly believe a lot of these contractors that are doing concrete coatings, that are advertising to concrete coatings, truly mean well. When they go to a customer's face, they're telling them the honest truth. What the problem is the people that have gotten them into the business, their dealers or their franchisees, they've led them on to this expert type level of knowledge that just frankly isn't there. So we've seen a huge saturation really from 2021-ish moving forward. I mean, before, if you try to look up a polyurea and polyspartic floor coating company, if you search in Metro Detroit, you would find one, and then your next closest would be Chicago. And then the rest would be your standard epoxy coating companies.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you look it up, I was talking to our sales manager the other day, and he said they were just running some numbers, and on average, our customers were getting between 6 to 8 quotes, which
Wow.
is a lot. So,
Oh, yeah, it is. What do they
Yeah.
do? Are they shopping for price mostly? Is that what you
I
find?
think there's just a huge misconception, you know what I mean, as far as what people are actually getting in the product. The terminology, one day floors, this many times stronger than epoxy, polyureas, polyspartics, has become really diluted to what it truly actually is.
I see. And then, so you're definitely making that differentiation when you're with a customer. So when somebody reaches out and they're interested in having something done, they're really just calling you in for a quote. That's kind of their attitude at first.
Sometimes, yeah. We have built a household name here in the Michigan area for sure. We could see we feel as if we're more of a desired company to come do the project. It's just a matter if we can fit inside their budget. And we made sure our pricing is extremely competitive with the other companies that are putting it down as well. So we have a good feeling we're doing the most work in the area by quite a bit, but it used to be a lot different for sure.
Right. So there's an education component when you're either booking the call or once you're there to enlighten them on not different companies, but different processes. Is that correct?
100%. Yeah. And what's been great for us is we've always had to overcome that. So even yourself in the middle of the start of the podcast, you said, so when you put down your epoxies, and that's what everyone correlates it with, is just an epoxy coating. And that's totally fine. So in the beginning, we were trying to let our customers know, okay, we're not putting down epoxy. We're putting down a much better product. It's a lot different. Yeah, we want 40% more than the epoxy guy that was just here, but listen to why. So us trying to educate and overcome has always just been inside of the company. We've said that forever. We just want you to be extremely knowledgeable. We tell a lot of things I love to say is, I tell everyone, it's like, yeah, I'm a salesman at the end of the day. Like I need to persuade you to earn your business. I'm hopeful to. I want to say the right things. But at the end of the day, going back to technology, if you just did your research as far as us as a company and all the different avenues, from the Better Business Bureau to government websites to Google, Google, by now, if what we were saying was nonsense, the jig would be up. You know what
Right.
I mean? And some people are already busted by that. So just do your research.
That's right. That's right. You can find the cheapest, but maybe not the best, right? So,
100%.
yeah. And then you get the customers that are absolutely just, it's only price, but it's their driveway and, or something like that,
Yeah.
it will look really bad and it will affect your resale if you get something crappy that doesn't hold up. Yeah. You have to look at beyond the next few weeks, but way down the road and how that turns out. Good. Very good.
Yeah. I mean, when you do your garage, it's such an extension of the home. Sometimes you'll go into a house and you'll have, either the husband or the wife be like, oh, it's just a garage. Like, I don't really care. And then, once they see it, they're like, I was so wrong. Like, I have this many more square feet of my home now. It's just not a place for my trash cans.
Yeah.
And it's something, it's not a cheap item. Residentially, our average price, entry price is right around $4,000. So for most people, doing a quick little search to make sure they spend their $4,000 is something that we are suggestive of. And it's just, we're big on statistics and data, and I cannot emphasize enough, like, how much stuff we're constantly moving and replacing. Like you talked about, just what we're trying to do to educate with our inbound calls and stuff like that. I mean, sometimes people answering our inbound calls can be on the phone for upwards of 20, 30, 40 minutes,
Right.
just listening to a customer just completely vent and just be frustrated and sad and hoping for relief. And that might sound a bit obnoxious, but it's facts. If someone spends, $4, $5, $6, $7, $10,000 on a project and it looks like crud,
Right.
and, under 5 years, and they have to hire someone else to spend that plus another 20, 30%, that's a frustrating thing. You know what I mean? And we deal with that a lot.
Yeah. Now you had mentioned too that you're even thinking of starting a consulting arm with your company just to make sure people are knowing how to do this right.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely 1000% in the works.
Yeah.
It's already established. I mean,
Good.
myself and my partner Max Farr, we've been asked to come to court and testify against other tradesmen or write up expert reports. I mean, it happens multiple times a year, and it's just there's a need for it, unfortunately.
Is there some kind of standard or kind of statewide or requirement when it comes to people who do this type of work?
No, there isn't really any regulations or licenses, if you will. There's no like coding or painter's license.
Right. So actually lifting up this profession by sharing your successful actions, how you've been able to do this right and create PR for doing it right is something that you're moving forward with Max on. And how is that working out on the consulting side? Are you just kind of laying down the foundation at the moment, or are you moving forward on that?
Both. I mean, we're laying down the foundation and moving forward. I mean, we seen a local company. This is a funny story. We've seen a local company. They clean your ductwork, right? I think everyone's seen it where your home it gets dirty. They have these machines. So they have this statistic or this ad where we've cleaned enough ductwork to be able to wrap the world with ductwork. So we're like, oh man, that's sweet. Like, let's see how much concrete we've coated to see how many states or cities or whatever we could cover.
Yeah.
And we've done a lot of concrete, and I don't think we could cover the smallest county in Michigan with the amount of concrete we've coated.
Yeah.
So the point behind that story is there's plenty of concrete and there's plenty of work for everyone. And the plus side with so many more companies coming out and marketing, as we know, Facebook and social pages have really just changed everything as far as how marketing goes and really puts it out there. So concrete coating in the plus side is becoming much more desired and known about and sought after. So we just need guys just to do it right. And we're happy to help. If anyone needs help in the area, anything like that, wherever it is, reach out. We've never been one of those sticklers a gatekeeper, if you will. So
that's right. I interviewed a gentleman the other day who has a $10 million cleaning company in Denver. Denver area actually, and he actually has a whole training thing on how to start up a successful cleaning company. And I said, well, why don't you franchise with these guys, or why don't you set this thing up? Because I'm doing really well. I just want to help people. Want to make sure that the standards are good, and people will be successful. And there's something about giving back. That I think is important to do, and also it for what you're doing, it can elevate the profession, and it's nice to stand out above the fray. But if the distance between you and the fray is too great, you become the fray by this association, right? So it is important that what you and Max are looking to do or doing to help people who are in this kind of business. Very good.
Yeah. Well, the consulting side's more for the customer that didn't really have a great time. We just want to offer, we've always been here to offer a helping hand. It's just something that we want to do. It's, from a business standpoint, we'd rather have brand new concrete and a happy customer to deal with, because when we go into a project that has a bad coating down that was recently put down, from, like I said, a business standpoint, those aren't the most profitable for us. And that customer is already on edge. So if we don't handle that situation perfectly, we're already in a delicate situation. So kind of saying, like you said, with the fray, you don't want to be coagulated with everyone else, as again, that we already are, in a way of, oh, you're kind of saying the same as this guy, so are you just as shitty as this guy?
Right.
So we gotta have a happy balance for everyone.
Absolutely. So where do you see like the vision in the next 3 to 5 years? Did you want to open up more locations, or stay where you are in Florida and in the Detroit area?
Yeah. So Max, he's a disabled veteran. So we do a lot of military work and government work and things like that. So we're really just getting our hands on that. Our guys are deploying all over the place for projects of that nature. I think that's probably what is pretty much going to be taking up a lot of our time. There's some projects we're working on a couple bases in different parts of the country. We think more or less we're going to have to put little satellite areas outside or inside of those towns. But that is, our main focus is our Metro Detroit residential customer, and then we will take on anything nationally. So we've talked a lot about our polyureas and polyspartics, but your standard polishings and sealings and coatings and urethane cements and epoxy mortars, all those crazy commercial industrial applications, we'll do that. So we tell everyone from 300 square feet to 3 million square feet, we'll take care of it.
Wow, that is awesome. Are you thinking of these other locations as 100% owned, or partnership deals, or franchisees, or any of that?
So these are just more or less so we're equipped to, logistically, it's easier to handle our projects that we have going on, that we're locked into, to set up an area and expand from that. We've done it a couple times, and it's to say if we're going to do it again, it's hard to say. This market has changed so much. If you would have asked me this question 4 years ago, I would have said I want to have 30 locations in 30 different cities, and a lot of people have had great success with that. A lot of people, some companies I really admire, they do a good job. They've expanded very well, and I have a great deal of respect for the company itself. For us, we really see a different market outside of the residential one. We really are honing in on our commercial industrial side. We are good at it. We have great support at it, and we just enjoy it a lot more.
Very good. Very good. So can you think of maybe 2 or 3 questions that a homeowner might want to ask a company who may be coming in to look at putting down a driveway or walks or whatever it might be, for them to be able to ascertain this company is my better choice than this company? The questions that maybe they wouldn't think of asking, but it would uncover some things.
So the 2 most simple questions I could ever think to ask another company is, how long have you been in business? And can I come to your showroom?
Okay, good.
Because a lot of these companies are fresh and new, and they're just a truck and trailer running out of their home.
Yeah.
So when it comes to a warranty or support, how much structure do they have? How tied into the game are they? So that is one of the bigger tells, if I could say, would just simply be those 2 things. Because if you don't have a warehouse or a location, if your physical address is your home, it would take you an evening and 20 minutes on the website to dissolve your company and no longer exist and have no obligations, called
Right.
LLCs for a reason.
That's right.
So, that's the simplest questions. If you wanted technical questions, what's your solid content in your top coat? And can I just see your SDS sheets?
Okay. That actually makes a lot of sense, right? How established are you, right? That type of thing. Definitely.
100%.
Definitely can see that. Yeah. And then when you've grown to a size where you have a warehouse and a showroom and everything else, you must be delivering on your promise of what you do. Otherwise, you're not growing, you're staying small, you're one off, you're accepting whatever you can get because you're scraping by. So it's good that now, are there any maintenance types of things that they sign up with you for on anything? Once it's done, they just have their own, like the care that you just mentioned. There's not we come out and do another coating of something every 5 or 6 years or something like that. Nothing like that.
No, not for our true polyurea, polyspartic coatings that we're known for. We did develop a cleaning solution not too long ago that works great for it, but I'm the worst salesman for this thing because we had a funny story. We developed this solution. We were so excited about it. It had such a Mr. Scrubs. It was a great name. We had it going on Amazon, our website. We're just thrilled. So I'm like, all right, guys, call all of our customers from the past years and, sell. And every once a week or every other week when we'd have a sales meeting, I would go over what's going on with the scrubs, and they'd be like, listen, everyone is saying the same thing. Why would I buy this cleaning solution for this coating? I just need water. I don't even need water. I need a wet rag. You know what I mean? It's just like, so
you
it's
did the
like
job too well to be
the
able to
yin
sell
and
the
the
cleaner,
yang,
huh?
yeah. So no, there is no like return to service or anything like that.
Fantastic. So tell me, as an entrepreneur, what advice could you give to other business owners, not necessarily in the field that you're in, but what you've learned and becoming a successful business? What kind of piece of advice would you give them?
Going back to just old school, look you in your eyes and shake your hand.
Yeah.
Have some integrity. Some of the people I look up to the most are very old school and just buy the book like that. If you just simply do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it, you're not going to fail. It is impossible to fail.
Absolutely.
I always, jokingly said, I'm not going to steal from a customer and I'm not going to mess with the IRS.
Yeah.
And those are the two things I've always said. And it's just that quick little, if I just do this or if I just skip this, like it's coming. It's going to come back to you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's like, it's an interesting thing about one's integrity. Once it starts getting a little tarnished, it's just easy for it to go completely dark. So it maybe not the popular thing when it comes to, I could get a close if I said this. If they go, well, would it do this? And it doesn't, but you say yes because you can get a close. It'll bite you. And maybe not then, but it will bite you eventually. So it's good to keep the integrity about the things that you do and the way that you do it. So how would one reach Motor City Floor and Coatings?
So the easiest way is just to call us. Our corporate office phone number is 248-613-5888. You can check us out on our website at www.motorcityfloorsandcoatings.com. Instagram, we have an amazing Instagram page with great visuals at Motor City Floors and Coatings. Facebook at Motor City Floors and Coatings. Either one of those, call, DM, reach out on the website. We're going to be in touch with you within 2 business days.
Very good. Rob, thanks for being on the podcast. I think we've got some really good information here for listeners that are looking to get something done. This guy is your go-to gentleman. Thank you so much, Rob.
Thanks, Sean.